Alright, welcome everyone to Team Fortress TV. We are back once again. Prem might have ended, but the action does not stop quite yet. We have two games tonight over on our second channel, of course, on Team Fortress TV. You will find the mid-grand finals, but here on TFTV1, you will see the Division 2 grand finals as the grand finale to a very interesting season. I'm not here alone, although almost was. With me is Antimation. Hello.
Hello there, how are you doing, Dom?
Pretty good. This will be an interesting one. These two teams have been reigning supreme on top of Div 2 most of the season anyway. But someone's got to win, and last time it was a very close affair, but it was a straight win at the time for Aware over the French team Happy Dogs. Very much could be a different series of matches now, but I'm really very interested to see how it will develop from here.
Yeah, I watched Happy Dogs play, I think it was Pint Gaming last week, and that was a fairly good game. I think Happy Dogs were fairly convincing in that game. So I'd like to see if they can play against what is coming for 6 versus 6. Maybe the new meta, or maybe just some scary degenerates.
Yeah, we'll see. Aware with very interesting semifinals of their own just the other day as well. Long story before the game even happened made it interesting anyway, but the gameplay itself was also very good. The first map entropy was a nail-biter 29-30 or 50 seconds game that ended 5-4 in their favor on entropy on ME map pick, and then after one slow round, very convincing Bagel game afterwards, but so far they have not been defeated in Bagel in about since week 2 in mid last season, so it's been quite a while since they lost the CoF map. However, the only team who has gotten more than a single round of them on any CoF map is in fact the Frenchies, which happened at the beginning of the season. It will be an elevator here, I would not be surprised otherwise. Before we get to Bagel, however, we have to go for Snakewater. This is the Frenchies map pick, undoubtedly, with Bagel being the map Aware wanted to see here, and only time will tell who wins this one. The Frenchies talked big game that they will not lose the rematch, but they have to prove it with just raw gameplay now.
I'm watching the Demo Man rollout on demo night, something you don't normally see. I want to see if he's doing anything interesting at the moment, looking like he's just got his charge. He's walking forward with his katana out, finds the scout, and it looks like that's going to be it for him. 3 picks on the side of Happy Dogs at the moment, and I think Aware are just going to leave through lower. Buko trying not to get caught out with that on the scout for the moment, managing to get out to second.
Yeah, the trick is with these mid fights, and I'm sure Happy Dogs is well aware of that. They like to make these mids triple sacks. The soldiers charge in with the Demo Man and get back to it. But the soldiers died early. There's the charge coming through. Obviously, Red Team can use down as well. I want down from the get-go here, though. Does make the post a little bit more complicated. There's the charge coming through as well. It gets in a second defense as well. Big damage on the scout. Gets Demo weak as well for the scouts to clean up as well. Soldier behind him. Brilliant jump by V-Clocks to clean them up. And that should be it. Cal still in. Will not succeed. Runs into the knife. Your Honor, he walked into the knife. I'm innocent, and there's the bombs coming through, but none of them will connect in time. The scouts doing heavy lifting here in the end. There we go. The bombs got denied on the mid-fight maybe, but at the end of this push, the soldier was right on top of the medic where he needed to be, and that's more so what Aware wants to do. Just these bursts of aggressions timed with the Demo Knight is where they want to be at. This push will allow that to happen. Gets them a good advantage to last as well. Oftentimes people like to focus on how do they beat a gun, but they didn't struggle with it too much most times. We'll see if this can be any different. Obviously, Sentrygun's usually a big point of concern, but if you just get your scouts in close quick, it might not be that big a deal, and usually that's how they prefer to play it.
Sentry going down just before the Uber Demo Man gets picked. That's the big player, and Blue getting a lot of time on point currently. But it's all...
the Frenchies maybe just more damage already. Buko tries to get in late, but yeah, they want to cap them so desperately as he said, but it's maybe a bit too much though.
A bit unlucky, obviously. Demo Man being your big trump card there, getting him sniped instantly. Not the greatest. Now we see...
Back to mid it goes. I mean, it's good advantage, right? You have to keep this one mid, but you have to watch out. There's 2 soldiers and a Demo Man.
Demo Man's hiding behind the hut. He sees everyone, goes for the charge. Not quite there. Medic getting undercover, I guess. I'm a little bit surprised. I'd love to see Happy Dogs really embrace the cringe that is just playing Demo Knight in 6s and bring out, like, a heavy or something like that.
I mean, all season people told me it's so easy to be Demo Knight, just do X, Y, and Z and then you win instantly, and no one's done it. I wonder why. And they still don't do it here. No, not defining off classes coming out. Just good gameplay from the Frenchies right now. Denying the bombs earlier with the Demon charges in here. Big damage on the big open door here as well. Denies a couple entries, but they get the medic still. They could play the long way around if they need to. Big Cloak's weak in the sky. Should go down. He can do some damage on his way down. Does not take anyone down with him though. And this Demon will have a tough time getting into the scout. Cleans that up. There's the heavy coming out late for the blue team. However, that will just not get to point in time. A bit of a grind in the end, having to work with these few kills they got on the flank, but having that med advantage for so much of that just makes a big difference.
Even still, with full advantage, it was a little bit of a messy fight. I was expecting it to be a bit more clinical. Obviously, with a Demo Man, you don't really have to bother about sticky traps if he's just sorting it up. And now we go to round 2.
Very much so. Going into the next round here. Now Happy Dogs one up with a bit more pressure on the side of where to bring this one back here. What will the bit fight look like? Well, not great already for the Blue Soldiers. Once again, just denied early. They're trying to slow approach over the point, but it's not working out. They're getting caught off guard every time. Scouts have to clean up, but they have to do so much as the medic just gets completely overwhelmed by the red pair of soldiers. The cleaner comes through much too late. Buko holding on to hope here in the 1v1, and knowing if you win this, there's a chance you kill the medic, but you gotta be quick with these. The shots are not happening. Everyone's on pistol, and Mora just needs one of those bullets to connect in the end. Clawed it a bit more too close finish there in the end, maybe, but as good as Buko's on scout, killing literally everyone on the team is still a bit much to ask for.
Buko had an incredible mid there, just hitting every shot, nearly getting himself an ace, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in general, right? Obviously, the easy talking points about this team is, oh, they have the Demo Knight, oh, they have, like, the Sniper mains, but Buko Scout. I can't even really say it's going under the radar, but just gets underappreciated sometimes in the mix of all these things. The guy is really good on Scout, and there's a big fact on how they're performing.
Demo Man walking in, gets the force out, ball kill onto Leonhard. Frenchies will take the second point, but at the cost of a pick and that big Uber advantage they gained from mid.
Alright, back to us it is. Getting out of here will be a bit of a problem, but I mean, time is still not too against the way it really comes down to it here. This is where the Sniper comes out as well on the last point, but they do have advantage. Still pushing Uber with Sniper seems a bit weird in some respects. You really want to just speed this up a little bit here. There's the shots coming out. Buko gets one. Sniper still has a bit of sighting to work with. Pressure everywhere as well. They're trying for backup. They're not getting very far. It's a bit of a trait in the grand scheme of things, but one snipe hit, so maybe that's just enough as they're already having kills.
Was that hitting everyone? I can see why a certain person, mentioning no names, said just stick this guy on Witness and they beat everyone in the world. I don't know if Witness really needs help beating everyone in the world at the moment.
I don't think they do at all, actually.
It would certainly be interesting.
Where still needs a little help here. That's a very tough time getting forced on mid there as well, because the red team can just push back right away. They might not even wait for the 6th player. In fact, they just don't at all. Meeting them halfway though, this Demo has the right call on the position here, but it's a trade for the force. Is that what they need right now? It's awkward on the numbers. They're going for the backup in the end. People falling back to try to deal with them, but it's the whole combo back here. Don't have anything on the charge. June goes down as well. Struggle even getting Sake down, but there's the backup coming through. One solo dies, the rest of them have to do so much work here. Bombs on point. Everyone's taking so much damage already, and this fight will end with no one left alive next to the blue medic anymore.
Really nice back cap there, but I don't think it's particularly helped them with their medic going down. It's just going to give the Happy Dogs mid again, and now with even more considerable of an Uber advantage.
Yeah, Odin on the high ground tries to get to the medic here the sneaky way around, and no one spotted him in time. Will get the downwards charge on the medic.
It's gonna get out.
Ooh,
oh
there
my
gets another one as
god.
well. Okay, well, I was about to say, the first kill there, if that's a soldier hiding, you don't see him, your Matt's gonna die anyway, but that way out, beautifully done with just the amount of the charge around the corner there, makes that be something a soldier probably couldn't quite succeed with otherwise. Gets them everything they need here as well, and that's a price factor. Is hugely gonna benefit them now as they have so much advantage to last, as long as they get their safety. There's still some bombs coming through, but they're catching them just in time.
remember a long time ago, I played with, I believe it was Solar Light, a season of Open Highlander, and that was incredible. So playing with someone that's able to play Div 2 Demo Man is a little bit terrifying when he gets out the sword, the shield, and everything else.
It's a bit struggling on the gun right now. He gets in the face of the gun, it's not shooting him back.
It respected
that
him.
Gun actually was just paid off to not shoot him at all. Anyway, they all died, so it doesn't matter, actually. It just took too long to get that gun down to begin with.
I don't know if this is a dumb thing to say, but it must be so interesting being in that mumble to just hear someone that you know is playing Demo Night be like, I got the engineer! I got the sentry!
Killing engineer is the easy part, because he just can get faster around the gun and it can usually aim at you in certain angles before it can adjust itself, but getting the gun is a whole different story, because it will shoot you back once it ever locks on. It's a bit awkward. Worth mentioning as well, the blue team obviously not coming out of nowhere, of course, as well. Were in fact the mid winners last season with 5 of these people on the roster. The 6th player that's here from mid playoffs from last season, in fact, in finals as well. There's Sake on the other side, so this is a rematch in some respects here, at least for some of them. So obviously in Sake's mind, this is the run back, long in making now, and having the lead already and getting pretty far with Zuba at the very least. Bodes fairly well, but they have to worry still. Zuba is coming up and they don't exactly know how much this is. You've got to be very careful. Or else there's just a charge on your soldiers and the rest of the team needs to hurry out of there as well, because whenever the Demo Knight is in, the guy is just not in alone. Whole team comes in, bomb and 2 scouts onto the chase on the combo. That's 3 kills total, with only 1 of those going to the Demo Man. Backup comes through, Q the temp, but tough luck. Getting on the point uncontested, gets the kill maybe even, but that doesn't matter. It just did not stop the cap on mid, and with numbers at still in their favor, they want to keep rolling.
Pushing forward at the moment. Happy Dogs, they're not going to get Uber for a little while at least. We'll have time enough to get out the poops. No engineer on their team, and Mora going down from behind everyone isn't exactly the best thing. They're all walking through one door, though, so this could just be a lot of potential damage for the Happy Dogs. Uber actually managing to come out both sides here and looking considerably better for the Happy Dogs, although Demo Man in and promptly out. Turns out, that heavy, he's got a lot of health, kind of hard to charge him.
Yeah, it will not pan out once again. This is what, the second, third chance now? Aware head into last. They just can't convert quite yet into the last point. And most importantly as well, they just find themselves in really bad positions on fights that are clearly kind of just not working out by that point and just cannot get their med out alive. So it just makes bad situations so much worse. Time and time again now, we'll have to try and mount a comeback from a really bad spot in the game. Still on the Frenchies to see how far they can push this first of all. If they can extend the lead from here, this is really good news. Build the Uber up while they have the time to spare. But you can already see the soldiers just being vultures on top of the midpoint, waiting for this push to happen by the red team. Just seeing where they're coming from, they want this fall so bad. I doubt they're gonna make it easy, but the longer this takes still, the better it gets, I guess, for the blue team as well.
Demo Man currently just standing there menacingly, tries his best, will get the force out for his efforts. Not sure if Sosok was in particularly any danger, but you don't want to drop to a Demo Knight. It's embarrassing.
I mean, frankly, I don't even think it was a good force in hindsight, right? Look at this. Everyone was still in. Everyone wanted to fall so bad. No one really realized they all are going for the same play. Everyone will die. And if you pop for 4 kills, you're still going to just get more than 1 point out of it, most likely, right? They can't fight back on second, even with the Uber up. They just don't have plays until just now. And by that point, you might still push out the last, but you're going to have a tough time actually getting in here uncontested. And if you use and don't get 4 people, it's going to look a whole lot worse for your part now.
I know it's only, what, 12 minutes into the game, but probably worth mentioning, this is Snakewater. This is a map where it takes about 5 years to get 1 round, seemingly. So I wonder if timing is starting to be a thing, as Odin instantly executed Uber coming out from both sides and Happy Dogs getting a considerably better one, but probably not anything to push off.
Yeah, they don't trust this at all. If you blindly walk into lobby there, there's just a chance you eat so much spam at once, want to play it safe. In fact, there's a sniper coming up too that they probably would have just walked straight into. Maybe it's the right call to play it safe here, I guess. We won't ever live in the reality where they did just go in to find out, but both teams actually with a bit of spy action here. I assume Buko is just in fact spy checking on the other side to see what's up. So off classes are coming out either way on both sides of this match. In fact, Deadringer on the side of Sake as well. So, well, it's not something you see all too often anyway, but we'll see. Maybe it will work out. Eats some bit of spam there, gets in invisibly as well. Buko does commit to the spy as well, surprisingly. I don't know when they spy checked each other, so they might not be aware, but look at that. They did spy check. I mean, Buko was in spawn for so long in spy. You have to realize at some point. The question is if Sake did a good job spy checking. Because you don't have much of incentive to spy check here. Who or spy here?
Yeah, it's one of the first moments, I think, in my time producing where I've had to use both binds for specifying spy off sniper.
Oh,
normally,
that's a bit of a beef. Actually, is
oh,
it?
he gets him!
Oh, it's not a beef at all, actually. Never mind. This works out. It just needed some more people, which is a problem in and of itself. Because the only people alive are 2 pick classes right now. Which makes this a whole lot more awkward. One of them goes down. Demo gets the knight on point, though, and that just forces the Uber by itself. One of the pick classes does work, the other one not so much. It's just a scout having to swap up real quickly to salvage all of this, but they just, how do you get off last with this anymore? I mean, they might still try, because spawns are pretty bad, but advantage is just not there anymore. This just went from really good to just kind of barely okay.
Either way, still bringing the clock slowly down. Feels like ages since last time I've mentioned it, but it's actually been about 3 or 4 minutes, and even through that time we're just stuck on even Ubers again. But who would have thought that making this game more interesting would just be adding some snipers, adding some spies, adding a demo knight? Maybe the Highlander players were right.
I mean, you say that like demo knight is a Highlander thing, which is just definitely not true at all.
I don't know what they do over there. That's like
not this.
The other side of the fence that I just like look and say, these guys are probably having fun, so maybe they're doing something
Highlander players did not have fun. Did you see how many teams dropped last season? No one wanted to play that game out last season. Having fun over here, it looks like they're getting in with this charge. Doing a decent bit of damage. Should be the sword is dying, but that's a big crackback from Red Uber coming in there as well. Late charge in a little early. Does not get the slice onto the scout before the Uber ends. And that should be around right there. They just mistimed it a little bit. Really, it just can't go that fast. Yeah, it's just doing that live. That will not be enough, and there you go.
He tried his best, but I don't really think there's anything you can do as a soldier to prevent a whole group of 6 people just walking on the point.
Alright, Frenchies with the 2-point lead on that map pick. Looking like a well-picked map so far out of the map pool for them, but there's still half the map to go, and it's not like I didn't have about equal chances into last just yet, right? The moment they start figuring those out on the crackback, it might become a whole different story, but gotta get that fight. First of all, they need to win the mid fights, because theirs have been surprisingly bad for them today. Starting off a bit more optimistically.
Getting pretty decently denied. Demo Knight walking in.
Perfect.
There's the med pick. X
yeah, this was a lot better.
Staying alive is probably like the best thing out of the whole mid there.
Very much. I mean, the last few times they had to sword us really aggressively on high ground, but not bombing in. They were playing a lot more passive this time around, had the scouts run up top instead, and it just worked. The red team still expected to farm the soldiers up top, and they just didn't get the chance to this time around. We're learning a little bit here. You need to be able to, starting at this level of play, of course, to be able to one-up your opponents once they have something that works. Keep them guessing a little bit, and that will do just fine. But they've got to make this work into last. If they want to go anywhere, what's it going to look like on this last push? We're coming in from right side. There's snipes going on here. Do not fall to those just yet, but give them a chance. He does the charge coming through. Get to point. Gun in the back. I mean, doesn't cover point. Who really cares, right? Just get your scouts on the cap. Force them to come your way and see what happens. And there you go. Nothing worth. They just cap.
I was a bit confused why the Frenchies, well, aware, are really focusing on this right side gun here. It doesn't look like it particularly blocks any of the points, and I feel like if they just rushed it, they would be fine, surely.
It probably is just the kind of gun you just put up hastily because you have to put up something, but then you just couldn't move it and you were productive. But they've realized. I mean, yeah, but like by the time it did any damage, the blue team just realized, wait a second, why are we feeding into this? Just cap the step. Back to it we go, however. This time around, the blue team once again stacking the high ground a little early. Try to get away with that. Works out for now. Get a kill on the soldier there right away. Still try to take off the high ground from him if they can. Good damage up top will help a lot here. Numbers still an advantage for the blue team. However, weak scout up top gets peppered down. Pretty weak. Does not fall just yet. Blue team does lose one on the way there, but they might have just enough space to claim it from here. Bombs across, looking for good damage, but it's maybe just not enough, actually. As slowly but surely just having to back off, and a long mid-fight, not quite as explosive as last few, will work out for Happy Dogs once again.
Soldiers on Happy Dogs getting so much damage on top, but getting killed fairly quickly. Odin trying his best to be a pick class, but very well denied by Celerino, however you say it, Celerio?
Celerio, yeah.
There we go. Is Celerio doing anything particularly different than a normal demo man would do?
I mean, you just gotta be, like, very careful about your positioning, right?
Yeah.
Because there's only so far that one night charge actually will reach, so you just gotta be really mindful of what your distances on things. Slopes and, like, trims make it a lot more complicated, I suppose, though.
I guess that's one thing different. He is doing no dropping the medic. Obviously heard what I had to say, but demo sack not really getting anything particular, and 3 down for the side of Aware means that Happy Dogs are going to get second for free.
Well, just being better helps a lot, I guess, in this matchup. I would say that much. And right now, they're playing pretty nice. Gets them a really brilliant position to last a decently good advantage. If they get this round in, a really good spot for the rest of this. 2-point lead this late would be huge, as this last point is about to start any moment once they have this charge ready.
It's going to take a little bit of time there as my voice decides it wants to break. But Frenchies, they're taking their time with it. They're going to wait until full Uber. No gimmicks for them. They do have to worry about Wizard on the sniper here, but they use nice and early, so that should be fine. Celerio sticking off this left-hand side. Gets a really nice flash, but Uber fades a little bit too quickly, and he will be taken down.
Bombs across here, try to get the combo, get the medic down, get to start next to him. Everyone's forced into cap, and there's not much left standing. They just take them out as they get there to get themselves into a 3-1 lead. France looking strong so far. Maybe they didn't just talk big game before the match started. Maybe they were correct in that they cannot lose this the second time around.
Odin still staying on the demo night. He's been having some interesting rollouts. I think he got a really nice surf off the ramp. Or is it called tramping? At the start, but not this one. He's a little bit slower.
Alright, worth mentioning that they did swap like loaders and stuff a lot in Bitcoin finals as well when the time came to it. And I can't say it didn't help. We'll see what comes out of it this time around as well. If they can still adapt a little more. 2 rounds behind and need something to change. Better mid-fight will certainly help as well. Soldiers in from the back lines. Well, not quite actually. It's a demo mine on top of them here as the bombs are coming in. In fact, will do just that. And that's going to be just exactly what they're looking for here. Very different from the last few mid-fights. Much more direct approach for the early damage. And maybe just picking up the pace again is exactly what they need.
Odin being the massive distraction, scaring all of the red team there, and it worked. Just soldier in on medic, and now we have Frenchies on last again. They've got their sniper of their own. They've got their NG up, so I guess just chilling. I don't think they're particularly gonna get Uber any time before Aware pushing, which is looking like it's about to start here. And it's just 2 scouts standing on point. It doesn't really go too well, but Buko intent on changing that, but no, heavy up with heals. Nothing really able to stop the 450 HP heavy machine. And while that's happening, Moira just walks through a whole team and kills medic. Will get a sword to the face for his troubles, but you've got the medic. That's job done, surely.
Sometimes that's all you need in life, you know, just the med to go down here. Still, it's a bit... They just cannot convert to the last, right? It's been a problem consistently now, the last few attempts. Something's got to change. The mid-fights look better now, but what does it take to actually convert around at this point?
I don't know. I think maybe you double down. Is there any other funny side grades of classes that you can get? Can we get like Ninjaneer or...
I mean, they had the sniper before. It's always an option they can pull out, I guess. That certainly wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary, I suppose, for them.
There's a soldier in the background, and he's going to not live. And Happy Dogs are going to continue their charge, this time onto mid. The more points they get, the harder for Aware to come back anywhere near this game, which I really don't see happening.
Time is running out for them here, slowly but surely on the blue side of things. Only 7 minutes left. It's getting dicey out here. The red team can afford to just take a lot more relaxed, right? Play careful, play passive if they have to. It really comes down to it. All pressure on blue. This Uber has to do some damage, but gets forced so early. And look at that. No one's in range. Demoman gets one barely. Actually, the second soul is in a bit of a bad spot there. Try desperately to survive. Might just about get out, but it's really the backup that you have to worry about as well. And if that scout behind can't get much, then it's a bit awkward for everyone involved. And they will just go down. There's the Uber for the red team, but it's getting dicey numbers already. Get this medic. Uber will run out here, and then they're just awkwardly surrounded, mind you.
It's really on Cal to do
a
something.
Big bomb by V-Clocks. Right on top of the medic. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
X-Red is currently down, so it's not going to be too disastrous. Leonhard is trying to find kills in the background here, as somehow we have some more Demo Man on Demo Man action. And guess what? The Demo Man wins. And it was not the French Demo Man.
I mean, sometimes it happens, even with that much damage for us, right?
Really can go to either of them, I guess. If Solario hits 2 pipes, maybe 3 pipes, I can't tell with the damage resistance, then that's just him killing Odin, no matter how fast he splendid screens into the world.
Alright, give me 1 second. It looks like the mid players need my assistance finding the new server for a second.
Yes, interesting question to all of my Know-It-Alls in Twitch chat is, are we impressed with the Demo Man? Is he doing well now that he's got the sword? Is this what we want to see? Could this potentially be the new meta? Or is
Haters will say it's impossible.
Yeah. Well, he's got a scout, which is a good start, and there's been an Uber forced, and that might be because of him. And he even manages to get out. Real Demo Man couldn't have got out in that situation.
Well, the only chance you have to get out in these situations is jumping, and even then you're going to lose a lot of health. So sometimes that's just not an option at all. It's a bit tough sometimes, but I mean, we've been here plenty of times, right? And they don't even have advantage this time around as well to really go anywhere with it either. So what does it take? They have so little time left, but they have to get 2 rounds at least to make this a comeback in the next 4 minutes.
Well, if I look at Team Fortress TV's HUD, it is currently telling me that Cal's sandwich is on 100%, so surely that's got to be an advantage, and he immediately changes to Sniper.
Just sniping away here is maybe the safe thing to do, because they have to peek into this hard point. They have to get the guns up, the engineer will go down to the sword. Sometimes more gun is not the solution, and the knife will win, not forever, thankfully, but with the medic alive, the Punchy sit exactly what they want to be.
It was a good attempt, at least. Possibly one of the other members of Aware could have tried coming in while they were just being distracted by the Demo Knight. I really like their plays where they just say everybody looks at Demo Knight and then like V-Clocks jumps in and goes for the killing blow. But just sending your Demo Knight in, I know he's got really good movement for this, but I don't think that's particularly the play. You have to really pair it with something.
Oh, time's running out here. This has to work. Sniper gets charged. Does survive for quite a while. Will go down eventually. Soldier will escape for the time being, but it's getting awkward. Heals down once again. They just can't keep their metal alive at the end of these ones. Bit more damage trying to come through here. Anything needs to stick, but they're just struggling to make it work. Where's the captain to help him out? Finally, some friends on the point may just be about enough, as the initial push forced enough people to spawn that they had the opening. But we're cutting it really close.
Just watched Odin just flying around there. Really nice. It's one of those situations where they got really distracted by the Uber and just let a Demo Man fly around. Because of that Hofstat Shuichi on him, he just regains all of his health every time he gets a kill. If he'd maybe got focused by the Uber, it would have been a lot better of a situation, but because he doesn't, they actually do really well, and oh god, he's done it again.
The back at it, bomb into the medic. Oh no, you just airshot the soldier into your medic. It's such a good mid fight otherwise, but they just got the medic killed even harder than already. And that with 2 minutes left does not give you a lot of time to turn this one back around.
He's currently being a little bit sneaky. Walks in, goes for a charge, kills a ghost or something. You know, Moira has got out his little hard hat. He's building a sentry. We have a heavy as well on Kel. So surely the perfect anti-demo man setup. Well, anti-demo knight setup.
It has to do it. They don't have much of a choice here, but the Uber advantage not being there helps a lot on tranches. Bombs are coming through, seeing if they can get anything onto this medic. Somehow sneak away advantage out of this. But it's gonna get real difficult, and they don't have much time to figure this one out, so it's a bit tough now for the blue team to mount the comeback. The Frenchies just have to hold on. This is all they have to do. It always sounds so easy to be in the situation on the team on last, but there's so much that still can go wrong, even on Snakewater. Oh, and there's the sniper as well, speaking of which.
Yeah. Surely was that on the sniper, going for your comfort pit. We've got Kel on the other side, preempting it, but this sniper play is going to have to be very quick and very effective, and he has just decreased all my expectations for missing that jump.
Okay, spamming around the garden. Even without pipes, it will still go down fairly quickly, actually, with the engineer not being around. Making space a little bit. Ooh, Leonard barely survives all that slam into spawn as well. There's the bomb coming through. Gets the force out. That's good news of all. But they're actually just going into this, and no one's on beam. 3 go down. I mean, they had no choice, but they sent them so far in just to die. In what would have been just a fine force play with more time, I guess. But just not going to happen now.
Yes,
and that's going to be it.
Not being the pick. Because of the Uber, they could just hide behind point and just send in the heavy who's fully Ubered, and then obviously bullets mean nothing to invulnerable gentlemen. And he's just completely ineffective.
That's our first map. The Frenchies will win the map pick. It was very close. They looked a little bit dominant in the middle for what it's worth, but around that, we still had plenty good chances, just couldn't quite make them count enough, despite having them plentiful. So, running away with it for now. Now we're going to opponent's map pick. If they win this one, it's going to be huge, because like I said, they're going to be the first team to beat them on King of the Hill in almost 6 months. I think a little less than that. It's been a while either way is what I'm saying here, but I mean, with more performance like this, they have a chance. Especially in the mid-fights, they look really good, just making sure most of this does not get the freedom it wants to between the soldier bombs and the demo charge, timing themselves in at once. They had that down pretty nicely for most of the game.
I'm wondering how this demo knight is going to be so effective in the King of the Hill map, because he has looked fairly good taking 1 versus 1s, but surely if you play Bagel well, you can have just your scouts and soldiers on high ground and your medic and demo fairly far away, and that surely neutralizes him at least a little bit.
We'll see. It's usually not that easy here. Bagel up next. Easy to assume who picked this map out of these two teams, and thankfully not knowing who picked what from the players is made really easy with Aware and the team list, because you always know who picked the KOF map.
Gotta be insane to pick a KOF map against the people that just want to play KOF maps.
Yeah, who would pick 2 KOF maps in the playoffs games against these guys? Who would do that? But yeah, here we are. I mean, for what it's worth, it was pretty close last time. It was a 3-2 game only for Aware in the regular season, like week 2 or 3, fairly early on. So it's been a minute since they've been here, but Happy Dogs made it close that time. And didn't make it look impossible as much as most other people have made it feel anyway since then. So who's to say that they can't pull off the, well, I guess map pick upside you can call it, right? Win on opponent's map pick here and just win the match in 2. Certainly would be an impressive way to end the season for themselves.
Yeah.
And with the gameplay I've seen so far, I've been fairly impressed. They played just pretty nice round most options here. But yeah, Koff is just a different beast entirely against his playstyle too. And in general, for that matter, really. Some teams are just not good on these. Easy to say that the Frenchies aren't one of the teams that struggle necessarily on this, but still, it can happen to the best of them.
Here's some logs.
Oh my god, numbers?
We have numbers. Logs.tf is finally loaded.
It's slow sometimes. But yeah, like, it tells most of the story that we've seen here, right? The Frenchies had more control, where just had the chances, couldn't convert most of them, so just in comparison, falling behind on most numbers here in the end, unsurprisingly. I guess it really just tells me a story of a team that actually like fixed their mid-fights by the end, because the first few mid-fights were just so heavily in favor of Happy Dog that it's actually still 3-3 in mid-wins in the end.
It's interesting how Odin has nearly as many picks as some of the scouts. Even has more than some of them, actually. But really low DPM.
I mean, yeah, that's just how it's going to work out, right? When you go for something, to get someone killed, right?
Yeah.
Be it you or the other guy. I think the more impressive difference here, beyond, I guess, the more scout stat, is really just a solo difference as well. I talked about it in the midfights already, but June and Vclox just did not get the chances they wanted at all this entire game. Not just in midfights, but really just in general, could not get to play the game much at all. And I guess that's where war stats, for example, obviously Kels as well, for that matter, really just make them have a miserable time, I suppose, in their own right. But just from the game starting immediately, the Blue Soldiers just did not get to have much fun. And it almost feels like funny priorities, but it made a lot of sense if you know how the blue team plays. It's, sure, the Demo Knight's a big deal and all, and the scouts are good and whatever, but in the end, they're always just relying on the soldiers doing big damage alongside any of the three I just mentioned. And if those guys can't do damage, then no one can get any kills easily.
I really like... I guess it sort of counts as baiting, as a game about to go live, where you just get the enemy team to just look at one of you and then the other one strikes. So it really gives the opportunity for Vclox and Odin, or even Buku sometimes, to just do insane sort of highlight plays.
We'll see now if the Frenchies still have their priorities as settled as they did on map 1, or maybe the blue blob can overwhelm them a bit better here. On their map pick now, they wanted Bagel, they're getting Bagel. We'll see if they will like the choice at the end of tonight. But so far, the tracker Cannon Corp has been pretty stellar. So they have good faith into this map pick here. Buku down early though. Does not have on the map, but there we go, the charge from behind. No one looked at main entrance, just got flanked for free. And if you don't have your flanks covered on this map, someone's just going to always run at you from in.
I don't think they were really expecting the Demo Knight to.
Well, that's just their problem, because this main entrance is just such a good way to sneak behind the combo, even if you can't get necessarily the kills from there. Just, if they do see you coming, they have to somehow address you as well. They have to just like look back and deal with you, and then the other teams, they get space in the meantime. It's a really powerful flank to use here, and this is no exception. Gets them the mid-win right away, and a good advantage to spare to maybe just make the put of a forward hold. Pyro coming out. It's not something you see a lot against a forward hold on this map. I think only on product really, but I mean, I don't know if Kel had much impact about it. The force comes out, and that's exactly what they wanted.
These players dying a little bit sooner rather than later is a bit of a blessing for the Happy Dogs. Now with big Uber advantage, they should be able to take this. We're holding pretty close, closer than you'd normally see. I guess you do have the Demo Knight ready to get the force.
Yeah, gotta get in here somehow. Sneaking through main again with both soldiers and the Demo Knight. Gets the guy in lobby that got caught out. The soldier sneaking behind as well. They're sending the big triple flank in here to just chase them back out. Celery has things under control a little bit. Gets one kill out of this pretty quick, but where's the rest of the team in the meantime? Scouts just with the medic on the other side of the map, basically. Wizard will go down. Vclox died for some damage, and their numbers are just kind of dwindling at this point on blue. Claim one more kill, but like the red team's just winning this right now. Actually, I take that back, never mind.
Crucial Uber sword there, but Odin, he's taking things into his own sword and decides it's a little bit too much. Maybe it's time for me to save, and now he's back with his team.
Worth mentioning, as we see the Demo Knight on 7 kills, sometimes I have seen this guy on Islander before, which obviously gets better if you have a higher kill streak. And mostly only in Corp maps, but in the recent games, not at all. Just been stuck on the Katana now, which obviously has a huge upside that you will just have more survivability. Because every time you kill here, you just see the health bar go back up again. And I guess that's what we're playing at right now, just be harder to kill every single time instead of just become really big and powerful by the end. As long as the rest of the team makes it count, and with that damage right here from the rest of the team, then there is nothing to worry about, it looks like, because this round looking mighty uncontested for the most part at this point.
Yeah, only 8 seconds of time. It felt like Happy Dogs were fairly equal, going sort of toe-to-toe, but just while all of it was happening, Odin was just denying them the ability to walk anywhere near point. Finally, look like they're going to get it again. They actually drop their soldier. Uber's being traded. Currently another one going down, but this is also building quite a decent bit of time for Aware. Demo Knight walking in, sees Sosok managing to dodge out the way. But I don't know if this is just another case of, oh, beating Demo Knight is easy, you just X, Y, and Z, but thinking maybe Pyro could also be a play to just air blast the Demo Knight. Like, you can't just play normal TF2 because you're not used to playing against the Demo Knight, and the Demo Knight is used to playing against Cookie Cutter. So surely you've got to potentially think outside the box if games are going to get this sort of out of hand against the Demo Knight.
Well, it's gotten them this far at least. Not a great position to be in, but they're about equal over here, back on point. Will get forced on the cap pretty quickly though is the problem, as the charge comes through, gets one right away. Leonard trades one out of the flank, instantly arrowed actually by the medic. Nice stuff from the blue Met here to get one more. Will at least keep the numbers a little bit more in check for them, but the Frenchies don't have much of a choice anymore, right? They gotta get back on point quick. Wizard really weak, can't get an arrow. Buku not there to help in time either. Demon's there, they need Captain before they make this fight happen though, otherwise they're just gonna lose immediately. So onto point it goes, it's the only chance they have. The woman will not get a kill on entry here, still alive afterwards maybe, but this fight will just go to point really quickly from here, and it looks like they're just letting them for now. Hope maybe the Demoman behind could have some impact, but found that guy pretty quick. Forced it back on point early, however. I mean, they have better spawns now, letting the guys cap and then resume the fighting. Maybe not that bad an idea, just have the better spawns for the rest of this as you're fighting back on point. But the medic can't be the one dying. That's a bit of a problem here. Big damage from point though. Scouts on the high ground just shooting down on them makes this really difficult. Wizard and Buku with some great damage. The two of them will still go down, however. Late charge in from Demo and Soldier behind, but they don't get any damage.
Solario solo getting down to 3 HP and then get some of the most crucial kills. Definitely, if he goes down there, that's round lost for the Happy Dogs. And we are on overtime, so any attempt from blue team to get on point is basically going to be a round win and killing their Demo Knight. Their Demo Man instantly is a pretty good way to start things. Uber forced as well. Odin in the backline's going to get tickled to death by the pistol. And let's see what Happy Dogs can do off this Uber.
They dropped this quite far back, but now it's back on point for them here, and they just have no choice. They have to run into the blob of blue players waiting for them. Perched up on the point at this high ground, mind you, as well. Miserable time pushing back on that, and despite a decent effort to bring this one back and gotten a whole 2 minutes there in what was only 20 seconds for the opponent's worth of time, still, Ware takes back the lead here and looking good on King of the Hill.
Going for this left house play again. They really seem to bundle everybody up into this house, make it their own, and then try and use this play to get the Demo Knight behind. A bit of a bad hold on this house last round will let him get instantly onto the Roma and then onto the medic, but at the moment it's held fairly tight. Reflux going down is going to be an end to the hold of that house, and Happy Dogs starting to take over at this point. Odin goes in for his charge, gets a lot of damage onto the Demo, actually helped by Wizard, and this is currently a 3k.
That's all that we're looking for, except for exactly the medic. Sosok, at least, in all that went wrong here, will maybe just make it out. It's cutting it close here, back to spawn. The charge is not up in time, though. Just barely. Even with slightly better distance damage that the short step allows, it's just not going to cut it in the end. Redman will survive, and that is a huge sigh of relief for the franchise that will still have to deal with forward hold, but at least on equal footing now.
Walking out through this right side, Uber's on both sides. Also, V-Clocks all the way behind Uber, forced by the Happy Dogs. They're trying to hit some godlike pipes, trying to get into a frag video, can't quite do it. So Moira having to take over this, and this is going to be point, hopefully, but fight getting a little bit scrappy, instantly traded back for Demo Knight TF2.
Yeah, and it's just gonna go back and forth, because, you know, lose one, they're gonna push back with the numbers ad right away. No reason to wait here. Just step back on it right away, gets the point hammer in favor of the Frenchies now. Hopefully for a little bit longer for that part, but I'm sure the blue team won't make it that easy. Big damage early. Matt's really weak already. Next, he just doesn't have it. Will take too much damage. Scout can clean up what they started as well. And now they're in some hot water.
They've denied their medic as well. This is going to be absolutely terrible. Massive Uber advantage for Happy Dogs. Timing still on a west side, but as long as they can keep their medic alive, they can potentially just force blue team back and then get a forward hold of their own.
One more attempt coming through. Will force the Uber. Nice reaction by Sorcerer there. Sometimes it's tough to even see that guy coming. Luckily, you can hear them coming most times when the Devil Knight charges through, so will react to that. Will not lose their lives just now. Still far behind on Uber charge, of course, but much less than if we are dying in the situation, so take your poison, I guess. Whether or not you die or not here, it doesn't matter so much. Uber will be gone for now. And that's really all the blue team wanted out of this. 140% advantage already coming through. Big attempt. Sake will go down fairly early. Not much coming out of this one. And I don't think they have much more in store. Scout holding close maybe, but just gets themselves right in front of the knife. I mean, that guy was just very overextended. But will easily be picked up by just about anyone there. And one more attempt. Buff Scout will lift that one, but there's more coming in from the sidelines. Everyone's looking at main. No one's looking to the left there. Will get walked at by Scout and Soldier. Very good damage by the three of them. To at least get a few more kills and just make this forward hold a little bit easier while they're waiting for their own spawner.
Yeah, Red really getting punished. As soon as that force was made, Happy Dogs just playing fairly passively. Their soldier gets caught out, and then it was just all curtains for that. Uber getting forced at the moment, going to be a bit of a trade. Slightly better for the red team. They're going to get Odin down, but there's a soldier behind trying to get onto medic. Won't quite get onto it, but trades all over the shop at the moment, and it's only X-Red and Buko left. Make that just X-Red, but he is going to get out, and with all of the time that Blue have got on the point, it's not looking too bad for them.
Yeah, it's still a bit tough, right? It's always nice to survive on medic, but it's just a bit disappointing to only be running away from a fight like this with, what, 20%? Still really far behind at the end of the day. Better than nothing, I guess, but still a big L to take on that fight, losing everyone the way they did. Here's a sniper coming out. You don't tend to see snipers much on Bagel, and usually for good reason, but it does have surprise factor going at its favor here a lot of the time as well. And there you go, they're falling back right into predictable positioning, and that's maybe all they needed here. But this goes both ways. Sax and 3 on the other side as well, just looking desperately for the one med kill. Actually keeping themselves safe in the backlines, it looks like there will be just enough. And there is... once again, the sniper still at play right now in this forward hold. Bit of an awkward area to do it with. I guess you have the angle from one side into the big open door from near point. That I think was just aiming for right now. That is pretty decent as far as things go, but it is really the only good angle you have on the forward hold.
Well, Pyro back out from Kel. Let's see if it can be a bit more useful than last time. Uber actually getting forced out, but there's only 5 seconds to get to the point here, and it doesn't really look like any of Happy Dogs are anywhere near. Odin gets the sword out, standing between them. Demoman just managing to get some time on point, but it's all going to be for nothing, and Aware, they're going to be fairly happy with a second round in the cuff game. What a surprise.
Yeah, get themselves 2 up. Map point, they can claw this into a third map. Should they get yet another round. And I heard big talk from the Frenchies, obviously all season, but specifically about the fact they feel confident even on the COF rematch as well. Look good on Snake. The Bagel game still has a lot to be improved for now if they want to live up to that much of their expectations at least. But, I mean, they had the short few moments. They can string it together perfectly from here on out, maybe, but that's playing perfectly the entire rest of the game is asking a lot when we're starting like this.
Yeah, medic going down, both soldiers down, absolutely terrible for Happy Dogs. Getting the med pick, that's quite nice, but Solario needs to be careful, otherwise he's going to be a really late push. Actually gets 2 with him, so not too bad, but you'd rather have your demo man up at this point, I think.
Alright, well, mid-win is a mid-win. Even with the mat going down, they can be pretty happy about it. Odin waiting in the wing, CSCs if there's an angle, doesn't find it just yet. Still have the sniper to slow them down a little bit on the way there. And even with awkward angles, it's just a bit tough sometimes to get in on the sniper and play fast if there's just a one-shot guy effectively twice on the other team. Gotta really choose the options well to not just get killed right away here. And for now, they're struggling a little bit. Try to rush the flank, will not succeed. Cal gets one right away. And there's the charges coming through in the meantime while Vclux comes in from the other side. Both flanks perfectly covered by the blue team. And anywhere they wanted to go, there was just already someone completely outplaying them.
It's kind of the problem. You really want to be on high ground because then Demoman can't charge you. But if you're on high ground, a sniper can see you. And sniper
I have seen some clips where the high ground argument does not matter, so I don't know about that.
My understanding from Star Wars is high ground equals good. But maybe something happened in the newer Star Wars that changed that.
I'm pretty sure that scene ended with Anakin trying to jump in and die, so I don't know if any of that advice is applicability to either.
Yeah, but Anakin didn't have a katana and a shield. Maybe if he did, it would have gone considerably better.
What is the Force if not an overpowered shield? I don't know. Anyway, did they have a direct hit in that movie? I don't think so. Should they have? Maybe not, because it's not working. Which makes
one
this
of
a questionable choice, I guess.
They have funny gimmicks, why can't we have funny gimmicks? And then it turns out their funny gimmicks are pretty good because they've been really invested into them.
Overly invested, yeah, and you have just done it for the fun of it.
Yeah. Every time I go away from Odin Cam, he just gets a kill on somebody important.
Well, you get an audio cue to react to from production sites, right? Like you can just click the button when you hear something. Makes this a lot easier. That's a huge lead once again. Oh, they did feed a bit there just now. They got a little bit too happy about it maybe, but I guess who can blame a team that's clearly winning right now to want to win even more sometimes. Does get them forced pretty awkwardly here. The red mat should be getting out in time. There's no bombs involved, just a scout demo and chasing here, and that should not be enough. Never mind. I'm mistaken. That demo man still gets in there, and well, they all die for it because they just tunnel vision the medic with the rest of their Uber. So it's one of those situations, right? Just, oh yeah, we have to get the medic, so everyone goes for the kill, and then you just look around afterwards, and that's just all people around you from the other team. Everyone. Not exactly where you want to be at, but, I mean, is there a good position at this point anymore? They have to make an over 1 minute comeback still.
Got a panic attack on this soldier, which is surely something. Not sure.
I've seen a regular shotgun the other day. I don't know in which division that was. Must have been like mid or something.
Well, it seems to be going okay. Well, we just have a full Prolander setup actually on blue team.
That's one too many soldiers for that, I think, and...
No, he's dead.
You get also still on soldier.
Oh.
The soldiers are the last people to opt us on the team usually. They need those bombs more often than not. The other guys can snipe, they can play spy all they want, they play heavy sometimes, they like having to last as well. Which is the least unconventional thing they're doing for what it's worth, but still, it happens.
Demo Man walks in, does not that much, and somehow his team just kills everybody. With that hitting some very nice kills, and...
That's what the team keeps up.
This was a Bagel game. I'm pretty sure, like, gaming was played, there was probably a Demo Man at some point, but... things happened.
And there you go, that's map 2. Like I said, I haven't lost Corp maps in a little while, and today will not be an exception, but I think everyone expected the Corp maps to be the tough ones to win here either way. What really matters now what comes up on Sultry, and that's going to be a funny one for sure. It's been a minute since I've seen this map. It wasn't played in many finals, it was played in a couple of semis and quarters here and there. I don't know, it's been weird, because, like, I think a lot of teams in Div 2, including Aware themselves, said their Sultry isn't the greatest. Clearly, they must dislike other maps much more than Sultry, otherwise they wouldn't have let it be map 3 in basically every game they played in playoffs. I'm pretty sure that's true. So it can't actually be the worst map. But it does make me wonder what they're actually banning in the best of 3 map picks. Because I have no idea, actually. I know what they're picking, everyone knows what they're picking, but no one knows what they're banning if we didn't play them. Should have asked people, maybe. I have no idea. It can't have been Entropy, but they played it last time.
Seems like you're doing a little bit of buzzing, which is...
That's so cool, big fan.
On my end, somehow.
Maybe it's the bees returning.
The bees have come back.
They're always back.
They're always there.
When you least expect them. Worth mentioning once again, chat, there is a second game going on right now that's also very interesting. It's the mid-grand finals at the same time here on the Team Fortress 2, so we have 2 games for you at once. If you're molding toward this one, there's probably a normal gameplay going on over there for, mid-standards.
Sure.
So tune in there as well. I think they're playing their second map still, so they're just like a couple of minutes away from ending map 2, I think. So they should be getting to the final minutes of that map, whatever they're onto right now there. We'll find out soon enough. Onto Sultry it goes in the meantime.
Oh god, what are people putting in chat?
They're just happy, They're just happy to be here. And for anyone watching this in the future, any of you VOD viewers in future days, I need to realize all of Twitch chat has been molding this entire game. For various reasons. And it's very funny. And keep it up, guys. I'm proud of you. Because they would never lose to this.
Yeah.
They all said until it became the week to play them. And then suddenly it's a whole different story.
Well, we have some logs on screen.
But the Frenchie's still looking good here.
And these are the wrong logs because I forgot to press the get log button.
That would help, I think.
Attempt 2, and it is a massive success. There are logs.
Damn, these are numbers, I guess. I have so much to say about them, like they're like big numbers and stuff and all that. It's crazy.
Moira did a lot, and
where's the I in this name? Why are you saying Moira?
I'm sorry, I'm British.
Is it Moira like an Overwatch character or something?
Am
I making it up?
I don't play that bad game.
I mean, I don't either, but I think that's the name in that game. I don't know. Either way, bigger number, better person, I think is how it goes. And yeah, that just kind of says it all.
Well, I have a connection problem to the server, so I don't know if someone's ended it or what's going on.
Yeah, looks like they are probably changing server then.
We change server, we have update.
That explains why I crashed about 5 times during the first map. That would make sense. Buckle up, Chad. We're here for the next 5 minutes until everyone updates the games. These things tend to take a while.
Do I have to update game as well?
Yeah, if they do, you do have to as well, yeah.
Okay. At this point, can we set up a vote or something for, like, what's the chances that this update has broken casting essentials?
Or anything else for that matter.
Yeah.
Apparently I took a screenshot earlier. I don't know how that happened. So everyone will update real quick. I'm sure this update was really cool and influential. Does someone have the update notes?
Patch note, demo night has been disabled.
Spectator HUD is no longer supported. They updated PL Frontier. This game is saved. It is so base for this one.
Fixed Pyro's right hand not being drawn correctly. That's why they're having so much trouble breaking out of the Foretold.
The Pyro's right hand wasn't working, that's it.
It's busy doing something else.
For Future's note here as well, it's like one change to Frontier as well. Which is fixed engineers being able to build in Red's final spawn room.
Oh.
This affected many people, I would imagine. I don't know, I think people like Frontier. I don't know why, but I think it's a popular map. Is that true, chat? Can anyone confirm or deny? I never liked Frontier. Nor do I play this game. So I'm not a good authority on this. But the map is just like broken. That train does not function on that map. That's all I know about it. Well, wait, there's a turbine winter? When did this happen? I am so not up to speed with what maps are in the game. It's crazy.
Is this demo night running boots as well? Is he like full committing to the demo night bit, or is he like only half?
I mean, in the mid-grand finals, there was times that Odin switches off demo night like occasionally, and not just on last holds, but also like in a couple of mid-fights. which was like, it was a really close game, so it probably was like, it felt like necessity kind of moment, I suppose. Like something needs to change here, and then, you know, it kind of worked for a little bit, kind of didn't for a little bit. Switch back and forth like 4 times. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some switch of Demo Knight tonight at some point, but it wouldn't surprise me if it takes a golden cap together. Okay, well, I have a funny little connect for you, my friend.
Ooh, very nice. Do enjoy.
Let me guess what this message is about.
The server.
Yeah, okay,
how did this not install the update? Pain.
Everything's working perfectly here. I love this game. I love the Valve Corporation.
I really hope they update the bees as well. Oh god, what was that?
Did the update do anything funny? It's like relevant remotely for anyone playing the game?
Probably not.
Fixed LOD bone collapse error. That just sounds funny. It probably isn't. But it kind of sounds nice. Fixed triangulation mismatch on pants. That is a sentence. Okay, well, players are slowly trickling in.
There was that sentence a while ago where it was like fixed bumper cars in hell or something on one of the updates, which
it might as well say like removed hero Brian, you know? It's one of those. Like, yeah, sure, whatever that means. Alright, looks like Where has joined the server, so they're getting slowly in here. Frenchies still need to join.
Yep. Production slowly getting into Sultry, which is a map in the map pool.
I don't know. I'm fairly neutral on Sultry. It's like fine. I might have to see it more, to be honest.
From
like
playing
relatively inoffensive.
It was pretty decent. I'm happy with it. I feel like it deserves its place in the map pool just because of its rotations. But I would also value it a lot higher than a couple of maps like, say, Snakewater or Metalworks.
Dude, I love Snakewater and Metalworks, Lars. What are you talking about? That is so good and cool and fun.
It's really easy.
And I didn't just watch a mid-reset in the mid-grand final earlier before we started.
Just set it to sniper cam, then I can like go and do some cooking or something like that for the next half an hour. By the time I come back, maybe a round is over, but maybe not.
We'll see. I don't know, I didn't mind the new maps too much. I can understand that 2 is a bit much maybe for people, but they felt okay. 1 is just like funny Badlands. And people want Badlands, but Badlands sucks, so this is the next best thing, I guess. Equal seems happy about feedback and all that, so I don't know who made this map, but this map been around for much longer as well, so I'm sure there is a guy that listens to feedback here as well, otherwise wouldn't have changed so many times. I guess we'll see. Although I'm sure the middies are demanding Gullywash back.
Gullywash is good fun.
Yeah, the problem is it was reserved for good players only this season.
Oh.
Bad players do not get the benefit of Gullywash. It's only, what, if 1 player's and up that got to play that map? It was a privilege this season to play the good map.
Cat's Witness truly privileged for not playing any maps.
Except they still did, so actually it didn't matter. Hey, but at least Auto found the time to mentor 2 teams, you know?
Yeah.
So it all worked out very well.
My first season of TF2, which was Fresh Meat Cup number 1, we had to play against a team that had a heavy, a demo knight, I think, and a vaccinator medic, and it was about as fun as it sounds. We watched.
Oh, did you win or did you lose?
We did not win. I think it was a scrim. I think like we scrimmed them multiple times.
So between this being close in Div 2 and you losing to Demo Knight and Fresh Meat, what you're saying is that Demo Knight is really good and people should do it more.
No, I suck. That was back.
Well, that too.
Back when I used to suck, and now.
Unlike now.
many years later, I'm still bad. Actually, in fact, I'm probably worse.
Well, yeah, because now you have to think about the fact that you misplayed as well. Back then, you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
It looks like most people have joined back on the server, so they shouldn't keep us hanging too much longer.
Yeah. I think they did just ready up and go for it, and then realize that they don't know how to do configs. Have they actually figured out how to do them now?
No, but I called them that we're good to go. Well, I said it in a really stupid way, so they might not know what I meant, but I'm sure they will understand.
Yeah, they
Because
probably
these are
understand
smart
that.
individuals. They're also yelling at each other about dumb shit, so, you know.
I'm watching them say some words to each other. Is Cardor the real name for that player, or?
Legally, yes, I guess.
Yeah. Looking forward to getting someone banned for the first time. Well, second.
Unfortunately, despite how many times I say it, people will not get banned for bad nicknames. Although they should, I think, to be honest. Much funnier if you got banned for a false nickname on the stream.
Well, Sultry, who do you think has the big advantage on this map? Is this going to be Demo Knight TF2 excelling again, or are the Frenchies going to find success?
This is, I don't know, it's going to be a tough one, because I haven't seen a ton of these teams on Sultry, and I think one of the matches I've seen on Sultry by the Frenchies was just a roll as well, which just doesn't mean a whole lot. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure Aware did also win their Sultry matches in the end, although they may have been close at the time. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more of a closer map than Snakewater was, for the most part. Beyond it, I don't have a good read on the situation here. It being back to 5CP, needless to say, will help the Frenchies a lot.
Yeah.
One way or another, they're out of the COP territory now. They have escaped enemy territory.
I guess you don't quite have as many hiding places for your medic on this map as you do on Snakewater, with all of the sort of catwalk area that you could go. You kind of have to just sit in cheese and hope that your team can stop the angry swordsman from just charging straight at you.
I will do as much effort as you, but to make friends in real life. What a quote. What a sentence. I want to try a little harder than that still for the rest of this map at least, before you make friends in real life. Otherwise, why have you been here the entire time? After that, you can do whatever, but you might want to win this map first.
Oh, at the moment, Odin is just handing out some nice demo night advice to people in the server, so it seems.
And I mean, that's gonna be very worthwhile for the 1 hour guy that's plays Demo Night this season. Which, you know, that's a whole 2 people.
Yep.
They're out there. They're learning. At terrifying rates.
Do you think we could see Domo maybe on Demo Night at Poland?
I mean, Domo already used every grenade launcher, so it's not too far away from happening at this point.
Our shoes...
Next time anything inconveniences Demo Knights in the role sets, people will just actually switch to Sword, I swear to god. It happened with the lock and load, and I hated it, and it's gonna happen with Sword eventually. Just watch out. The coping will continue. We just need, like, a crack at enough Demo Man in Premiership one day. And it's gonna happen. But they will start in a moment here, so...
Hopefully. Domo Night.
Maybe they should do that next season, just to see if they can make it work. And then they can't even take shit for losing, because if they're not winning, then they're playing Double Knight, who cares? It's a flawless strategy.
I don't know how well they'll do with Wizard on Sniper, but how well would they do with Wizard on Demo Night?
Why was that?
Because that was the copy pasta. Someone, I can't remember who, was like spending a good amount of time telling Tomas on his stream that their team would just be 100% better if Wizard played Sniper for them. So,
I mean, he did snipe a decent bit today, I guess, so... That's part for the cause. He wasn't allowed to snipe last season, actually, to protect the middies from bad thoughts, I guess.
Well,
but here we are, and let's see what they've cooked up now for the final map of this best of 3. We're once again in blue, the Frenchies on Happy Dogs in red once more, fighting it out on CP Sultry to decide who will win Division 2. 1 map each so far. Looked pretty good for the winners each map as well, but we'll take one more go at this 5CP map to decide the winner here. Charge in early, gets the bat right away. Soldier Bombs with that as well to clean up a little bit more here. 2 can play that game though. Bomb comes through right away from Callum's sake to at least trade out some kills. Max speed doable on the numbers as well, but ooh, as the scout goes down there, the sword rings in and might just work out. No, Mora will win this just about. Scout there at the end for the blue team did not see Mora coming in time. And will go down. Close fight, mid-win for the red team in the end, despite the tough start. And it looks like they might even have the better spawners after all is said and done, so they will definitely take this point.
Sosok dying instantly to the Demo Knight. Bit of a favour in this situation. And fairly fitting that it comes down to Mora and Odin, 2 of the players that have had arguably the most impact on either side. And Mora winning it just using the Anakin strategy as discussed before.
Once more, or whatever. I can't even debate that anymore. June also is playing on high ground here, on top of them, and just drops right down on top of everyone. Does massive damage, plus the charge will be the force here between the 2 of them, and maybe that's just all they needed. Look at that. Looking up, very difficult. Maybe that's why high ground is so good. However, one last bomb from Sake, misses the airshot. It doesn't matter. This man will fall to their death. Not a chance to lift that. At least against Sosok, so it's equal trading, I guess, in the end, but aside from the awkward damage of losing their own medic here, that was very well done by the blue team.
Really nice hiding there by the soldier, just on the lamp. One of the most effective spots that we've seen on this map. Every team seeming to fall prey to it.
But for Tracy, see what I can get. Oh, that should connect, wow. Very close rocket there in the end. Red sniper actually out as well. Okay, that's like a 50 demo man, but the scout gets headshot instead. I guess he can do it that way. I don't know if it helps them necessarily get a last. They do have ad, I guess, but so far from even being there.
Demo Knight not looking particularly useful going into last. It seems to be one of his struggles, as we have a nice look at his tummy. So let's see what he can do better this time. We have Wizat on the sniper. It's a bit of his forte. See if he can find Sosok, but Kel on the other side of things trying to prevent that happening and go for red first. Ooh,
that's the first snipe. I'm trying to remember right now as well. I don't think there was ever a situation where they really got to snipe into last much on Snakewater. Maybe once, I guess, but I can't remember it happening often. There wasn't a ton of stalemate situations into Snakewater last either. Just a lot of like positions where they wanted to push from pretty much right away. Maybe having the sniper long term will actually work out a lot better for them here. Just force them to play it a little bit slower instead of just running and point and dying as much as they did last time. Could actually turn out pretty alright for them here, as long as Wizard hits these, which kind of, but also not really if you just sit there and die.
Wizard just finding the medic sitting in the dispenser, but can't really shoot through fences yet, unless the update has done something really drastic. So
that would be very funny.
It would be.
Just hidden actual balance changes in the middle of it all. Whatever the case. Oh wait, what are we doing over here on mid? Where? What? The student just really slow to roll out, I guess. Maybe they thought someone was behind. That looked a bit weird. Maybe I missed something. In relevant context there. Either way, the eyes should still be on the snipers most importantly, I think, at this current state. Those are the ones that have the easiest chance to get a kill right now anyway, and sort of cutting it closer, playing it to the sideline. Giving chances that can't quite get converted yet.
We're not quite there. Wizard hitting very nice headshot again, and looks like we're going to see a bit of sniper versus sniper. Both of them looking at each other, but can't quite get to the point. Deciding to go for Sake instead.
Alright, bit more spam. After all of this is like converted into like a chance in the last, you still have to remember that gun is still there in the back as well, so it could become a problem pretty quickly. They're deciding to just hop on the soldier close as well. Gun has to be next, but Duba certainly is not next at all yet, and that's a huge problem. Heavy late in as well, there's the force coming through. Get that Heavy down pretty quickly with just some good focus fire. It was like sort of Demo Knight getting there in that one. Scout so far ahead of the beam, just will go down. Super did nothing for the red team. That kill did not do any damage. They just popped after the Heavy died and no one could chase.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit annoying when they have a demo man and a sniper where you're not really sure. Do you go for the sniper there? If you try to, you kind of die from overextending, but if you go near the demo man, he's got a nice sword.
But I thought the Demo Knight can't beat the Heavy. Someone said that like at least 2 times every stream I did. And they won? How's that work?
Yeah, it must have been the new update. Added like
Heavy resistance. Here's the attempt, double bomb, Demo Knight charge comes through as well. Big damage by the soldiers to clean up for the Demo Knight will make that happen just about, but all 3 of them go down pretty quick. Ultimately still in the medic certainly did not, so it's just the scouts having to rail away at the soldiers, and it might just about do enough to at least get the mid win. Close one there. Initial bombs looked promising, kills took a while to get there in the end, but I mean, the mid win's a mid win.
yeah. We're just walking onto the second point. Happy Dog's interested potentially on taking this back. They will get a bit of drowned, but Buko at the moment being fairly threatening will get forced out. Actually, will trade for the soldier, and this at the moment is looking a little bit more advantaged by the Reds. But with a Demo Knight on the other team, I don't really know how to think. He could just pop out at any point and make a game-changing play. He's thinking about it. He's going behind at the moment, messes up his charge, and just gets scouted.
Alright, gets him this far here, just very convincingly into the midpoint. Still carry out good advantage from this position forward. Will probably just make this get even worse for the blue team, you'd imagine. And maybe this will not be a lead for too much longer if this keeps looking good for the franchise, because at this point the blue team probably can't even think about second much anymore, beyond maybe a bomb or something. I gotta get to last pretty much immediately here as well. Also, I just noticed V-Clocks is on the shovel. And it's, mind you, this is not a market gun. We don't do that thing anymore, so that's just a normal shovel for some reason. I want to hear the reasoning on that one.
Maybe he just really doesn't like the escape plan or something.
I don't like how people are using it necessarily. Okay, there we go. Coming into last from main right away. Loses one on entry. Still get the Heavy. Traded out 1 for 1. Make that 2 actually. Heavy goes down just as much as the soldiers. Sit back here in the back lines. Charge comes in as the medic starts taking damage. Gets stuck in the barrel. It will go down. No heals for the red team. They just gotta get in quick to make something out of this whole thing. Big bomb on point. Gets some decent cap time already. Turns everyone's attention back to the point here. Rockets for June are nice, but Leonard stays alive. One last spawner comes through. No, Buko gets in there in time. Just about. They took too long. And they will clutch up one last time here to make this happen.
Yeah, that was just complete pandemonium. I guess they did get red, which is going to probably mean it's just a potential another last push again. But now we have a spy and a sniper with that missing that shot. Pretty uncharacteristic from him. He's been hitting some insane flicks, and then standing soldier really just being the hole in his armor there.
Okay, what is the plan? Well, first of all, you have to get past the sticky carpet that is in fact on the field right now. Lo and behold, I was talking about it. Sometimes on last they do switch to a sticky missile launcher. There was like an attempt to make use of the Scottish resistance, I think, late last season, early this season, but they stopped doing it. Because that thing is not good, despite you having seen it maybe once or twice in Prem last season. Do not try it at home. Wouldn't recommend.
It's pretty good in MVM, which is pretty close to 6s.
The same thing, yeah. They have to push coming in with the spy being on the field, mind you. Mora is like backstabbing his own medic there in any moment. I don't know what's up with this positioning, but I don't think the Super helped the spy much at all, not gonna lie. That was not good.
You are 1 round down on Happy Dogs here. I don't know why you are just like rushing in, going full crazy with it, because obviously it doesn't work. But
like, again, I need to like make note of this. The spy was behind their own medic when the super started. It was like Mora tried to backstab Sosok for some reason. I don't know what position they were playing at, but it wasn't good. They were cooking too much, and now they're getting cooked completely. Dinner's ready, everyone. Reading French today. This will just keep going as well. This doesn't stop. They still have ad.
Oof, so close. Can't quite land the sword. Force coming out.
It's hardly a force. They just see a guy to kill and they just want to go for it because they still have ad and momentum going forward from here. But it cuts down numbers a little bit. They're leaving one on second, obviously, to cap, and that just means they have barely anyone into last, actually. They probably thought there was much more people where the Demo Knight charged it, but it was just the one guy.
So trying to get in, getting a lot of damage, just poking blue team out at the moment. Currently 1-0. We have 20 minutes to go, so plenty of time for either team to get considerably more rounds. Just seems to be a bit of teams really struggling to push last.
I mean, it's been happening once or twice this match already, so it's nothing considerably new here, but I guess the first one to really figure it out is just gonna run away with this one at this point here, and they're running in as they are. They're not gonna go much of anywhere regardless. It looks like they're stuck at this entryway. Pop through on the blue side now that they have their own buff as well, and there's already a lot of weak red players just waiting to be picked up pretty quickly. 2 go down already, 1 last effort bomb coming towards the combo, but it does far from enough damage to claim any kills, and as much as the Met survives for now, there should be a pretty clear sweep on second at least. Book out the end by Kelda in the end. Uh-oh, B-Close is missing. Uh-oh, we missed just too much. Didn't deal with the guy in the backlines too much. And now this has become a bit of a problem after such a good start here. Runs into the knife, that's a bit awkward. Eventually they will hit Leonard as well. Okay, situation diffused here. Just got behind it, admittedly too much already, but fumbled the ending a little bit.
Happy Dogs deciding they just want to concede 2 last. I guess spawners weren't too fresh. Obviously you get spawn advantages in terms of position if you're holding midpoint, which where were, so they're just gonna stay on last, and that has the potential to wind the clock down for another at least 5 minutes. It's not too bad at the moment. Pyro out, Engineer out. Normally we would see Pyro on sort of disadvantage holds, but I guess it could have the potential to do well against the Demo Knight. Actually doing very well to start because Uber's getting forced. Already a pick onto the Soldier as well.
Okay, are we going Sniper again? That's kind of their plan A last time, although their B strat was what worked, which is just use in on a guy that was easy to kill. So maybe that's what they're aiming at here in the end. For now though, they're just gonna fetch too many and just lose second. I mean, almost hard to call it lose second. They're just gonna leave after losing players. Not much of a fight in all of this. Just let them have it. Then again, sometimes it's easier to win rounds on second and just on last, so maybe it's all part of some grand strategy that we just don't understand yet.
Big Uber advantage, I guess not that big, but it's somewhere depending on how you want to use it on the side of Happy Dogs. Playing fairly middling at the moment, but there we go. So we go jumping in, not quite getting the stickies onto Medic Soldier, trying to get something. We'll finally get it, but while that's happening, we have V-Clocks on the back gap. No one really in the position to prevent it that well. That's going to bring absolutely everyone back. 1 HP. Scout will get took down in the background. And was it all worth it? Probably not.
Well, yeah, not really, no. Well, they got a kill here late. Look, that guy's just gone for longer than everyone else now. Maybe this matters in the end, I don't know. We have the spy as well. We're really throwing everything at the wall now. One sword's not enough. We got to get the knife involved as well now.
Yeah, all of the
we're playing medieval mode. That almost worked. Any short setting? 40 health? 1 knife slam. There we go. 40 health is, I think, exactly how much the knife does there as well. So that was just in time before the next health tick regen for the medic came through as well. Perfect timing by Buko.
They're never going to expect 3 hit classes on the field at the same time. Surely not.
Well, if snipers are good, surely we just play more bad snipers and then it just works, right?
Does this become tilting, I guess, if they have like a Demo Knight, a sniper, or a spy, and they're playing like this? Is this like something where Happy Dogs are...
I mean, I've seen Leonard type essays about how they shouldn't have lost week 2 against these guys, like all season, so I think tilt is a very real thing in this matchup. I will be real here. They feel like they can't lose this on like a moral level, I think.
It's interesting how, after playing them once, they've just decided to keep with the sort of stock. They're not particularly doing anything that I would say isn't just default cookie cutter 6's TF2 against the Demo Knight, who can fly at 1,000,000 miles an hour and now can jump from the looks of things.
We're talking about the Demo Knight, but I'm looking at the scout numbers, and I'm thinking I know who's really winning this game right now. Vclax can't get anyone in the end. Well, turns out the other guys also have good scouts. Kel gets another one there as well, chases on, but as long as Bagel can protect the medic, they are at least getting out of this one in an okay state overall.
Well, red team are going to get midpoint. Let's see if they can get anything. They've got 25% advantage. They're just going to use that to charge straight in. Mora leading the charge. Not many people really coming with him though. It's a bit messy at the moment. But Uber should be coming out very soon unless Odin gets his way with the medic. So far, not quite happening. He's going to be in the respawn queue. And
Also gets the health pack here as well. Will stay healthy. Was really concerningly weak there. Scout in alone. Mora in ahead of the rest of the team. Just goes in all by the lonesome. Strange one. That was like playable. They had ad even. That's not numbers ad, and it's just kind of escaping them now.
I am just watching people put silly pictures in the Twitch chat and
don't encourage them.
Please don't. It never works, no matter how many times you do it.
Alright, well, Chase is on. They're trying to get some people to this. There's the late charge coming through by Odin. Mistimes it a little bit, but there's the solar bombs on the crackback coming through to clean up afterwards. Scout involved in that as well. Juneboku doing great damage at the end there, but they didn't find the one guy. Once again, Kel just out of nowhere in there to at least claim the medic. Has snuck behind a couple times now, but the one funny kill certainly will not win the fight. In the end, the blue team still comes out largely superior. Spawns are here on second, so they might fight back a little bit here. And in fact, we'll claim Vclax actually, and this could turn things around slowly but surely.
Well, Demo Knight returns. He's gone for a bit of a long little trump there. Seeing if he can do anything. Nope, decides to elect to stay mid. Happy Dogs electing to stay on their second, and Buko electing to play Spy.
It worked the one time. I mean, why not try again? Ultimately, someone or your opponents who start adapting to it, I guess. And surely they will never see it coming the second time around. That's what they're banking on. Just hoping to literally get away with murder here. Just gotta sneak up into the back lines. It's not the biggest advantage here either, so it's honestly not even that surprising. The Frenchies are not pursuing this too much, but they're looking. There's suspiciously little happening, so something's up.
I guess it really is Aware's turn to go for Lasek first if they've got control of mid, so them not doing anything, it's a little bit sus. Let's see what Buku can do in this situation.
What's the play right now? Obviously, the Spy being here turns our eyes to that, but doesn't turn our eyes to that just yet. It needs distraction first, and they're just using it. The calls got made. There's resistance in this doorway here. We're just popping into this, and the bomb around was trying to help out with a 2, and it just makes that situation worse. 2 down early, 1 late charge kill will not quite make up for that just yet. Those numbers run against him here. Bomb behind Leonard will not kill anyone. Attempted by Odin to get back the other way. It's not working out. Just gets juggled by a rocket and misses in the end. June desperately trying to hold close as well, but it's all falling apart. They just couldn't make it work in the end. That Spy play optimistic maybe, but as close as it was, they tried to really double down big time on a play that just did not work to begin with.
I really couldn't tell who was trapping who. First it looked like Aware had control, then it was Happy Dogs, then it was Aware again, and finally finds out it was in fact Happy Dogs.
Well, and it goes back around on the other side as well. It's like we level left this doorway on the other side. Big damage in there by the blue team. Will claim a couple of good kills. Sosak is about to get Uber, but X isn't too far away either, so they gotta make a quick call if they actually want to fight or not. And it looks like they're deciding against it.
Deciding better of it. I reckon they could have got X-Red there before he had Uber.
Alright, point back to blue. Ubers will end in 100 each right here. And it's back to where we started, right? Before the funny fight happened. But they're already peaking quite a bit. They're thinking about just going in. And to be fair, it worked the one time on last. So why not try on second to just take the fight? Walk over whatever you can here. Get it early. Get one kill on their own in the meantime as well. Makes it a bit tough. But it's really a matter of the much later Uber for the red team that needs to make the difference now. And this time round, they're not holding too long. They're just using into this. Chase down what they can. Much more efficient than earlier on the last point by the Frenchies. And it's a full sweep on that part.
Yeah, we're learning key fundamentals of TF2 comp, like, don't push in on a completely equal situation, because it never goes well.
Push.
Don't push. Wait for them to do something dumb, and then you just do something less dumb, hopefully.
Back around goes. Snipers on last once again. Frenchies with good advantage though can maybe make it happen. And it really has to. They've been scoreless too long this game. Had not too many chances, but this is about the second or third one they have now as an attempt into last. With good advantage here, this has to work. There's no gun, only heavy and snipers off classes on the field right now. As they're getting deep stickies off the field already. Back to Sword it is. To charge on point, see what they can chase. Combo just too far away, and the damage is brilliant by the red team as they're going back on point. The soldiers blowing up everything in the way here. Heavy still standing late, could be a problem as it stands right now. Maybe it's the problem actually, as they killed everything except that one guy and the scout. And that will do it. They worried about the wrong off-class.
There's so many off-classes though, how do you know which one's the right one?
Maybe Peter was right, maybe heavy is the problem. That was what, 5v2 at the end?
Yeah.
And they just hit him with it.
Yeah. Everyone's shooting the scout, and it turns out that they're not very good at shooting the scout.
Unfortunate ending there as well. Blue team will keep the lead. Back around it goes onto mid for the blue squad. Don't have Uber yet, but they want to flex this advantage like it already matters here. Big pipe onto V-Clocks. Good damage early on bound to the red team, but it might not be enough here now as they're just running out of numbers. And certainly did not take a lot of space before any of this started, so it's not like the red team has to fight back from bad positioning. Still on point, still controlling space on mid, and before it's escalating against them, Aware will just get out of there. Uber advantage is still there, but it's like really small at this point, and if they're not already in, actually making use of this is really difficult.
Yeah. At the moment, Uber's about to even up. Let's see what red team can do. Now it's their legally mandated turn to sack if they wish. Otherwise, I guess they could go for an Uber trade, but we've seen how well they go, and yeah, probably best not to do that. So
alright, what's the plan?
Jumping in.
Through. It's not enough. Actually, will live.
Can't quite get the second rocket there. X-Red jumping against a wall as well. That might have been a bit easier of a rocket to get if you'd managed to get it off. Oh, alright, it's forced the Uber. Wizard leading his people forwards, and it hasn't gone too well. Just gonna get out by...
Oh, big damage on the re-entry though. They're just trying to bomb them with choke, get good damage early, and get kills out of this as well. Scouts in close quarters, quite to knife will not win, but as per usual, one nice little play at the end keeps getting actually in winning fights. The blue team has won these more often than not, I think, like, but always something is going wrong at the end. Just makes it look a little worse. Still, really good there to begin with. Just had really good timing on the re-push, really, is what it came down to.
Kel sitting in the corner. I don't know if Red is going to suspect that, but Wizard certainly is. On the plus side, that's most of the team going back to save the medic.
Nice shots from Sake as well. Small little ash on an Odin, didn't let him charge away. Just kept him stuck in the air forever. Alright, maybe not a huge air shot, but it will matter here as the demo will go down as a result of it, and suddenly the second point is just not turning blue anymore.
Yeah, it's deciding it wants to stay the way it was.
Uh-oh.
Wizard's a bit annoyed about that. So,
I mean, that's a brilliant strategy. Why would a sniper be there, you know?
Oof.
No one walks around that corner thinking there will be a sniper. It's genius.
Why would you peek that twice? Sosok, please.
I mean, you gotta find out if they can hit that, you know? Bomb by Leonard as well. Ah, it's not hitting anything. It's not good enough. Great bomb by Sek will also not succeed. Buku cleans it up. There's still just a small sticky carpet waiting, but it's really all they have. And it's Get Wizard. I guess it's funny. I don't know why the sniper would need to charge here, but sure, it doesn't matter. I guess they get the point anyway. It will be fine. 4:40 left. Time's running out, and sitting on last has just become a very valid strategy. I'd mind you, they're bad. They could just get around here too.
Nope. If you stay there and wait for the other team to do a dumb push out, you just win. But this team also has a demo night, so they don't enjoy the easy way of doing anything. So I'm sure they're going to try and push this, and it's not going to go well.
They're taking a long time already, just checking where things are. Which makes sense, I guess. Playing with some knowledge here, but still, didn't see the gun early, find it late in the corner. It will go down, a bit of Capam forced out there as well. So much Capam, in fact, as the red team does get Uber in time. Heavy will go down just in time for Uber to at least save the day for now. But how much of a chase are the red team going to do here? They kind of have to try at this time frame. But it is tough. Still, it's only one player at. They're not exactly healthy. Mora gets some point early. The rest of the team still stuck slowly but surely getting out of lobby. And all of Blue is in great position. If they're not finding a good repush angle, which it doesn't look like, that point will turn red. And that's really good news. They got out of the worst of it. Out of last already.
Now, only 3 more points to go, and then you are taking us to Golden Cap. But Wizard, he's back on Sniper. And he's going to see if Sosok walks into his scope again. Which I really hope
surely
doesn't
out
happen.
again.
Surely.
No one would do that twice in one game. No, they have the ad as well. They don't need to place risk into the sideline. They can just get in here quick. Axie on 95 has to live with so much damage coming through. Barely anyone on the beam as well, but that getting chased down. They got to do something about this. Uber comes down early. Lose Odin in the meantime as well. 3 down already. Uber doesn't do a ton. Mora behind them is turning heads a little bit, but can't get a lot by themselves. Still, no scout shooting you is making things a little bit easier on the survivability on scout. Just jumping all around will keep themselves alive. Chase comes through. They want more. They need more so badly on the red side, but they can't quite get it.
So
Everyone
many
that lived that
people
mid-fight escapes on to last.
so low there. Just Soldier, single-digit HP. Same with Red, limping away. There is going to be considerable advantage on Happy Dogs, so they should still get that advantage push onto last. But can they capitalize on it? They're gonna have to be quick.
I mean, it would be poetic if this, after the midpoint final last season, would go into a golden cap again. Somehow on the final map. We're getting close, but they need to make this one count. There's not a lot of time. 80 seconds or 80% on Axie's Medigun means they have a top time frame here. Trading numbers early doesn't help. Cap time is there. Big damage from V-Clocks with the kills. Gets so much out of this. And mind you, they did not hit the heavy when any of it happened yet. They would still have to chew through that guy while everyone is melting on point already. But Buku barely even had to be a factor in all of this. There's a backup attempt, but there's a 400 HP heavy coming through. We'll see that scout coming just in time. I've been caught by Odin now on the sidelines, who couldn't get there himself. Will clutch out one more kill. Bomb away by Leonard. Good stuff. Enough so by Axie at least to get away from that bomb past the wall. Keeps himself safe. 120 and the advantage is against them. One spy comes through. Upstab now could be huge, but you have to hit it quick. And that's not the one. Claim V-Clocks as well. It's getting dicey. They're getting too mid though.
They get the back cap. Surely they get the back cap. Blue team
There's a move on
coming
Blue team
back.
though. They need to kill them with this and it's fine, right?
Yeah. Don't quite get onto it, but Happy Dogs managing to get out. Picks actually in their
Oh, they're from all
advantage.
directions. They're all around them.
They get the medic though. I
One
honestly,
more attempt at the back of the doubling down so badly, but Demo Knight charge gets there in time, cleans them up already, and that will do it. 3k for the Demo Man to get back to the backup in time, and that might just do it. 30 seconds left, the capping mid, and at that point, time is just running out quick on them.
surely it's Jofa.
It has to be, right? What can you even do here? You just need to kill everyone on point.
Kill everyone on point, teleport.
Well, that's not going well already, so I don't know that one. And there we go. 10 seconds running out here, just a few kills for the logs.
Well,
but the winner will be the team in blue, Aware. Will back-to-back win mid-end Div 2 seasons in a row against, well, 5 different franchises at least, and Sake. And there you go, they did it again.
TF2 is over, or TF2 has been revived, depending on who you ask about this.
Maybe we're just getting started. Good luck Div 1 players next season.
Yeah.
This is your problem now.
Is Demo Night TF2 going to Poland?
I don't think so. I didn't see it when it qualifies, I don't think. As far as I can remember, anyway. I don't think anyone on Red does either. Actually, no, I think Mora was on the team that wanted to qualify, right? Something like that. Most of them don't, anyway. But I wouldn't be up to speed exactly with who made it for qualifiers exactly. I have to double check. I just saw the initial list like last week of who is even trying to go. Been a minute. One more another. Well, we now have a couple of winners. I think mid-ended as well. We have the 2 winners as well. The season fast advancing to its final endpoint here. There's a couple games left. I think Open, Low, and the 1 or something are still going. At some point in the future, we'll see when those are going as well. But for now, that's half the Div's grand finals already concluded.
Yeah, it's been a season that has had games in it, a bit overshadowed.
That is so true.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people just thinking forward to Poland, obviously Witness not being in Prem, is a bit of a caveat, I guess.
Well, it's like a caveat towards like future live formats where they're going, I guess, but at least the season itself was entertaining, right? That's ultimately what matters.
Yeah.
History will not really remember the fact why they didn't play, they just will remember that they didn't play, and then whoever else played how against each other, I guess. And if they're coming back at land, then we'll see them either way, I guess. So it's all good. And as for this, what mid and Div 2 have both been very competitive seasons all around. Like this went to 3 maps as well, which is really nice. I think Div 2, mid had like a really close match overall as well, only going to 2, I believe. They've been competitive seasons all around here. So it's nice to see decent grand finals coming out of it in the end. But yeah, a little more to go before the season's finally over, and then it's Christmas break for everybody. Unless you don't celebrate Christmas, or you celebrate Christmas in January, in which case you have to wait a little longer, I guess. I don't know. Happens, I guess. In any case, winter break upon us here on TFTV, and we'll catch you when people come out of the winter sleep again.